No carbs, low carbs, simple carbs, complex carbs. Is your carb confusion holding back your gains in the gym? I'm going to bet that it is. I'm going to show you how to reverse that today. Hey guys, Jeff Cavaliere, AthleanX.com. Not in the gym this week, but in the kitchen, because we want to address something very important. I feel it's something we call it carb confusion around here. It's one of the most confusing topics when it comes to building muscle, and probably one of the ones that people are getting wrong when it comes to nutrition, and that is avoiding carbohydrates. It's got to be one of my biggest pet peeves. It's one of the cardinal sins and one of the key things that we avoid in the AthleanX training systems X Factor meal plans. We don't make that mistake, because I want to show you why carbohydrates are so important. An example of a meal that we have in the X Factor meal plans. This right here that you're seeing is a typical size meal for me. Now, one of the things that we don't sort of steer you towards is an appropriate portion size, because for someone like me at 170 pounds, I'm going to have a lot different need and requirement than a guy that's 220 pounds. But the foods that we eat are going to need to be importantly the same, okay? We need to get the right types of food in our body. When I just say carbohydrates, I'm not just talking about any carbohydrates. I'm talking about the right complex carbohydrates. We all know that carbohydrates establish blood sugar levels, okay? But more importantly than that, we want to maintain them throughout the day so we can have consistent energy. But we also want to maintain our storages of muscle glycogen. Okay, it's just a stored form of our carbohydrates, of our glucose that gets into our muscle cells. It allows us to be fuller, provides more energy for the workouts, but generally it's the fuel for our body. Okay, I always say that cars can't run on without gasoline. Our bodies can't run efficiently without carbohydrates, because we know if you have a diet full of fats, which is the Atkins diet approach, and removing the carbohydrates, you're going to produce something called ketones, which are not nearly as effective in producing energy. They're going to wind up leaving you drained, but more importantly, it's not a long-term solution, and it's going to wind up costing you when you get to the gym. So, one more time, let's look at this plate, because I want to dissect this and show you what a typical X Factor meal plan meal consists of. We have chicken, we have protein. So if you look at it right here, we've got hummus on top. I would say incidental fat. So if we have incidental fat, that's going to be, we always want to have healthy fats on top of what we have. But protein constituent of every single meal. Okay? We have our fibrous carbohydrates. In this case, it's edamame. Right? You get it when you go out for sushi. Great stuff. Just soybeans really. But you can get anything over here. You can have broccoli. You can have spinach, you can have whatever you want for your sort of your crunchy, leafy vegetable here that basically takes up about 1/3 of the plate. And then again, look, we're not avoiding carbohydrates. Sweet potatoes here for me, couscous here, all part of the X Factor meal plan. The key here is they make up pretty much half my plate. All right, you don't want to avoid them for the reasons I just told you. If you are, I can guarantee you're going to look flat. Your muscles aren't going to be as strong as they need to be when it's showtime. Whether you're an athlete or you're not, showtime could just be going to the gym. The point of the matter is here, stop avoiding carbohydrates. I call it again, carb confusion. It's time to end that carb confusion. Make sure a starchy carbohydrate, a healthy form of starchy carbohydrate, is part of every single one of your meals, as is part of a fibrous carbohydrate, as is a protein source with some healthy fat. Guys, it's time to get your meal plans back on track. It's also time to be realistic about what you eat. Okay, don't fall for the idea that you have to have restrictive calorie diets and that you have to eat the same amount as another guy. You all are different, but you need to have the same components in your program to make up something that you can actually follow. That's what this is about. No measuring, no calorie counting, none of that stuff. I think as guys, we don't really like to spend our time doing that anyway, all right? Guys, if you haven't already, head to AthleanX.com, grab your own X Factor meal plan with the AthleanX training program. Grab it, 90 days, laid out completely for you. You can even swap in meals in and out. It's that flexible. We'll be back here next week, back into the gym. Hopefully I'll eat my carbs all week, be strong and ready to go to bring back another great workout for you in just 7 days from now. I'll see you guys then.